Welcome back, everybody, to This Is My Bourbon Podcast. I am your host, Perry. I am coming to you live from Bourbon Beyond 2025. It is hot. I am burning up. The sun is slowly creeping in. I thought I was in the shade well enough, but holy moly, it is coming over past the awning here, and I'm feeling it. I'm feeling the heat, but it's fine. It's a beautiful day. The music is just starting, and we got interviews lined up for you. I'm very excited to chat with people. I'm going to be filming some B-roll as well for you to check out that will likely turn into some kind of video. I don't even know what that is going to look like. I'm sipping on some Jack Daniels from the bar over there that I had to pay for. I didn't used to have to pay for drinks at the media tent, which, yeah, it's fine. It's probably for the best. It's probably a safety thing, you know. People just come to the media tent and get a bunch of drinks and, you know, interview people, and they're like, you know, it's not the safest thing in the world, I guess. You know, whatever. I miss those days. I haven't been here in a couple of years. And things have changed a lot. I had to ask no less than 37 people how to get to the media tent, which made me feel stupid. I'll be very honest. And I got to the point where I said, you know, I would really like to stop having to ask people how to get to the media tent, which was fun. And I think, you know, it showed a mental growth, I would like to think, but very likely didn't. I don't know. But otherwise, things are going great. I'm having a good time. I'm going to leave it here because this is going to be a very dense episode. It's not going to be a whole lot of bourbon. I don't think. There will be some bourbon stuff here and there, just depending on who we get on the show. I know Trey Zoller from Jefferson's is going to be around. I think on Saturday is when I'm going to be chatting with him, so stay tuned for that. But it's going to be pretty music heavy, so I hope you're excited for it. I am so ready for this episode. Jade Bird is going to be here soon, so stay tuned for that. I mean, it's like there's not going to be a commercial break or anything. It's a podcast. What are you doing? Anyway, stay tuned. Hey guys, this is the start of the Jade Bird interview. I had some technical issues at the very beginning of day one due to the heat, and I did not realize that my introduction for her got cut off. I apologize for that, but this is Jade Bird. So you just put out a very fun record.
Yeah.
I would say. And I was going through and I was listening to a bunch of the tracks. I was watching some of the music videos that were from it as well.
Yeah.
And in the lead up to it, there were a lot of people who were saying, "Oh, this is going to be Jade's best."
Yes. Okay.
What did you feel in the lead up to putting this record out? Did you have that same kind of energy going into it? Did you feel like this was your best music that you were about to put out?
Yeah, I think it felt like the closest to myself that I've been in a long time.
Right.
You know, I kind of feel like the core of who I am, and when I started releasing music, I kind of wanted to get back to her. I had a pretty tumultuous relationship that I talk about a lot in the record. Yeah. And so I felt like I'd reached that, and I felt like this was a true representation of me, which is honestly the only goal with an album, to be honest. Yeah.
Well, you've been putting out music for a good chunk of your life, not just as an adult, but just as a public figure.
Yeah.
And I mean, you're quite young for somebody to be at Bourbon and Beyond, really. And I mean, it's quite remarkable too to see you here, you know, and represent a younger generation of artists for sure. And I imagine that, you know, it's rough to, not necessarily rough, but you know, it can be challenging to maintain authenticity in some regards.
I know what
right?
you're saying. Yeah. I think the industry is definitely leaning into a way that's like, can you make a caricature of yourself and then can you advertise it? And
Right.
how good are you at advertising and marketing? And that's absolutely exhausting.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to be a marketer. I didn't study marketing in school. It's not particularly what I want to do in my life. So yeah, that element is exhausting. I don't think it's hard to be authentic for me personally. Because for some reason, I don't know why, but nothing affects that process when it's me and my guitar or me and my piano. Like nothing comes in, it's pure bit.
Right.
So everything after is based on something very pure. So
Right.
I think that's kind of how you retain any semblance of authenticity when it's...
And I'm going to point to this very specifically because it's very funny to read the comments on this YouTube video, but going to your performance of Kate Bush's Running Up That Hill and having people go, I didn't know I needed this particular performance. I didn't know I needed to hear this version of this song.
Yeah.
It's literally just you at your piano playing it and people going, God, this might have been how the song needed to be performed.
Do you know what? It's so funny you say that because that song, it's not about this, but I always thought it was about reaching somebody who died, somebody that you loved who died. I always thought it was like running up that hill to get to the, one day I'll meet you on the other side.
Like Mourning.
Yeah, that's what I always thought it was about. And then I heard like the original story of it's not about that at all. It's not about that at all. So there's me singing it from this really morbid place in the way that I connect to the song. But in actuality, it wasn't like that. So that's maybe why you get an emotional interpretation because I was genuinely interpreting differently.
I mean, it did make me feel emotional when I heard it, of course. And I think that's, what a lot of people connected to, of course, when they heard it. But okay, I have to bring this up. This is the way I conduct interviews. I'm sorry.
Okay, no, you're all good.
It's very
I'm following.
Conversational. When I heard that performance, do you know who Narina Pallett is?
I actually don't.
Okay. She has a song called Idaho.
Okay.
And she performed it for the Abbey Road sessions.
Wow, okay.
I think that's what the show was called. It's not around any longer. It originally aired, I think, in like 2006, 2007.
Got you.
And it had that same like emotional gravitas that I got when I was watching you play Running Up That Hill, and I was like, there's something very just like I don't know, like I don't even know what I'm really trying to get at, other than like I feel like you are continuing this like person that is bringing again authenticity to.
I know what you're saying. It's like the tradition of music is to kind of want to feel something.
Exactly. Yeah.
It's almost quite like, strange how far we've gotten.
Right. And again, not to hark, you're like this new Gen Z kind of like
no, I know what you're saying. Yeah, it's very different. It's very different.
It is a completely different,
it's almost a different genre of music, isn't it?
But also like, you talk about like marketing yourself too. Like you're in a bright red jumpsuit as opposed to your black jumpsuit too. I mean, like you're bringing yourself to the stage. Yeah,
100% entirely. Because it's fun. I also, on the other side of it, right, because you can be a bit cynical and be like, we have to shoot all this social media. But on the other side of it, I kind of enjoy that you have to make yourself larger than life. Like, I'm finding this real celebration in Americana right now of like I said, that larger in life thing. And it almost goes back to like, the Dolly-esque country where you had the big wigs.
Right,
and,
yeah.
I think of Sierra Farrell, like Willow Avalon, and I'm like, these people, I just adore that they have so much fun with how they look and how they present themselves. So it's kind of a double-edged sword. Like you said, the common thing of enjoying it is probably just that authenticity with people. When they do it in that way, you're like, oh, this is so awesome, It doesn't feel like they're putting on a cowboy hat, for the thing.
Absolutely. I want to ask you too, because we got limited time, but I want to ask you about my favorite song on your new record, Avalanche.
Oh,
there is something so, and I've watched multiple performances of this song and listened to it and felt just that there is something so much more real about this song.
Got you.
That I just have felt so emotionally invested in this song too. That of course it's not even my song. Like
I feel that.
but where did you talked about a tumultuous relationship?
Yeah.
But was that part of this?
Hugely.
This song
I
too?
was smack bang in the middle of it, and I feel like I basically went to LA to do a writing trip, and I felt like I was actually falling apart. I felt like I was trying to stitch the threads of myself together, to be honest with you. My self-esteem was just crashing like so low, which is quite rare for me. I'm a confident gal. My mum brought me up in that kind of way. Like, be proud of yourself. It was just crushingly low, and I sat in the studio and I literally just start playing them initial notes, and it was like a letter to myself that just came out like totally from the sky, an instant. Like in them songs, the way songs do when it's like line. Right. And I sat with it and I was like, oh, I don't think I even realized, what I was actually going through and how I actually felt. So that song, I'm glad you like that one because it was a real reckoning and a real turning point.
Wonderful.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much.
Jade, wonderful to speak with you. Thank you so much for hanging out with me for a few minutes. I appreciate it.
Absolutely.
Yeah, take care. Enjoy the festival, too.
Thank you.
The band Feel here on This Is My Bourbon podcast. Guys, welcome. You all are ostensibly going to be pegged as the new Led Zeppelin, I would say.
I need you to define ostensibly first.
I would say ethereally. Okay.
All right.
Okay, so who's Led Zeppelin?
Yes.
That is a little bit of a trickier thing to peg down.
Yes.
I was talking earlier with, and this might just wind up being the theme of all the interviews I do this weekend. But I was talking with Jade Bird earlier about authenticity, right? And while you all have what I would call a very authentic sound, I get the feeling, you're welcome, that it can be difficult to maintain an authenticity when you are so rooted in this very classic rock vibe, right? What do you all do to try to remove yourselves from that and still write with music that is true to your own, not just this era of life, but your own selves?
We just write what we like, and then that's pretty much the easiest thing to say.
Yeah.
If it falls within that vein, it falls within that vein. I mean, it's just people are going to label things and genre base them no matter what. So,
Correct.
media training, hot. No, I'm joking.
I don't know. It's tough. Not tough. Like being music fans, like I could take apart our songs and say, well, this is what I might have got this from or something, whatever, like influence. But I don't know. There's a lot of bands that get compared to people. It's like, it's inevitable. I don't know what it's like to like try to write a song like I want to sound like this band.
Yeah.
Maybe when I first started playing or writing songs, but I don't know, like Garrett said, it's like I don't know if we've ever once done that. Like the songs are presented and it's like, all right, let's work on it. I don't know. So I don't know if there's really a good answer besides what Garrett said. I don't think there's much effort. Not saying we don't like try, like put effort into writing songs, but it's like I don't think there's a conscious effort of like,
well, you're not
sound like somebody.
Like not picking up a Les Paul and putting it through a Marshall stack and going, I'm really trying to attain, the Jimmy Page sound or anything, or putting the Fender Strat on the,
yeah. Well, it just happens those things like are classic for a reason. I mean, in the studio, not as much as like TJ. Like he has this, like we have tried other kits, I think, and like especially other kick drums and snares. But it's like I'm using anything. We all have really good gear knowledge, so I think that's something that kind of can separate it too. Is like I know what this thing is going to do with this thing, and like people probably be surprised the kind of stuff we use in the studio. But as far as the songwriting goes, I don't know. I what I like about our music, I've said it before, is that people generally, everyone's gonna say Led Zeppelin about any rock band ever, but like they'll say I hear Zeppelin, and I also hear this band, and I hear this band, and this band. So it seems like it's kind of hard for people to pinpoint exactly one influence, which makes me feel good because it means that we are innately our own thing in that way.
Right. And I mean, being a music nerd, a gear nerd myself too, like it's fun to take all of those little tools and build your own sound, craft it your own way, and make your own thing too. And like, I don't know, I'm curious about like when you are writing as well, how often do you all, build the sound first before you build the song itself? And vice versa.
Right.
Like, you mean like sonically, like tones?
Sure.
Typically, I've found that the song is most often built, and then the sounds come after.
Yeah.
The tone and everything. I mean, like there's a tone that you envision in your head, and you're just chasing that each time.
Absolutely.
And there's like an 80-20 that sometimes it's like, oh, that's what I'm going for. Like that's that people will get it. Sometimes if you chase it too much, it'll become too perfected, and that's perhaps that overproduced sound that we try not to do.
Yeah.
That I think I say we as in like the music populace tries not to do.
I love that phrase.
TJ doesn't have as much choice as I do. Like as far as like
well, it's
drums aren't just drums.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a huge gear nerd, and I have all the different sounds that the studio drummer might want and all that stuff. But with our style of music, where I get to play more freely, like I want drums that they don't sound like a sample every time you hit it. There's a little more to it, which lends itself to the slightly higher tuned, bigger kit thing. But I mean, we have stuff that we're writing or on other songs where it's very, what someone would call like singer-songwriter drum tones, not necessarily on the full kit, but with certain pieces of it. All that to say, I just think for all of us, it's very intentional. It's not a thing where, okay, we wrote this new chord progression and here's this new beat, and we're just going to play on my standard drum kit number 1. You're going to play on your Les Paul and normal thing. It's like, it's very specific we want to create, kind of a sonic vibe for each song.
Right.
For sure.
Yeah, I think I might be a little bit slightly different since the music is like the actual like guitar stuff, in this kind of band. Most songs start with like guitar, ideas and stuff. So I am thinking about that stuff way early on. I also have the luxury of it being 2025, and I can change tones on the fly live.
Right.
So yeah, I'm always thinking about that even before we record it. But on the other hand, like I just said, our gear knowledge is pretty mature. So it's like I don't really question it when we go in the studio. Like we kind of just sit there. It takes me longer than everyone else because if we start tracking another song, it'll be like, it's like, okay, I know I'm going to be using this and this and this. And the producer we work with, Paul Moak, he's never questioned me once, which is like the guitarist's dream, because he plays in Heart and has done a bunch of other stuff.
Yeah.
So I think we're on the same wavelength with that. But with bass, when we get into the studio, it's
with the bass, it's kind of cool. Whenever we go to Paul's place, he has some pieces that we don't typically have, so we get to kind of test out new sounds with different songs and whatnot.
Yeah.
So like something I may have been playing the P bass on for like, X amount of time, I can try a Jaguar bass or something like that, and then it just fits perfectly into the mix. So it's kind of cool hearing it in that sort of environment rather than just like a rehearsal space or your bedroom or something like that. But yeah,
intuitive, like intuition. Like most of the time, it's like whatever song. It's like everyone's pretty much going to agree. It's going to be.
Also, I apologize. We just like hopped right into it with you all, just talking about like the nitty-gritty of putting you all together as a band. I should have asked you all to just introduce yourselves first and foremost.
Yes. We're the band Feel. Next.
Like, do you want individuals or like?
No. It's okay.
Cool.
I think people can kind of like gather who you all
Caden,
are.
he doesn't want to know.
Well, I'm Caden Ray.
And everybody can figure it out from there. No. It's just that, it's going to be a long episode with everybody that'll be interviewing.
I'll tell you what, though. It's a heap load of fun recording because you get to put all this gear you have to use, and like that's what sparks your personality. And it's a cliche to say, but if people think Hendrix was just playing a Strat and a Marshall in the studio, it's just not right. So it's just a lot of fun. It's like it reminds me of when I got freaking I can't remember what my first DAW was called. It was whatever Sony's one was. My parents bought it at Best Buy. But when I got like Pro Tools Express, I had 12 tracks, and I would just fill those up with a whole bunch of different sounds and like try to like just put the mic right here instead and use the same exact rig, but it sounded like something else because of it. But anyway, we're carrying on, but we're very involved. So if it doesn't work, it's our fault.
So let's talk about real quick the difference it's a completely different, experience, of course, going from being in the studio to playing at something like Bourbon and Beyond. But this festival in and of itself has transformed over especially the past few years. But like, you all have never gotten the chance to be here before, right? So what does this kind of mean for you all getting the chance to come to Bourbon and Beyond and show off what you all are doing?
Oh, I was just gonna say I'm really excited to see like TV on the radio and Cage the Elephant, and Blind Melon. So I mean that's mainly what I'm stoked for. It's awesome playing these shows, especially festivals. There's something like it's just very free formed. There's a lot less judgment at festivals. It feels like it's almost like you don't have to worry about playing a genre or staying within something.
Yeah,
there's better judgment, I think. People get into it. They just tend to get into it more. I think it's been fun just because it's a very well put together festival. From what I understand, any DWP is pretty spot on. But Caden grew up like an hour from here, so I'm sure he has more so something to say.
Yes.
Where are you from?
So I grew up in Santa Claus, Indiana.
Oh, okay. I know where that is. Yeah.
Yeah, I live in Evansville now.
Gotcha.
But no, I did grow up coming to this fest and then the metal festival next
weekend.
Yeah,
Louder Than Life.
Louder Than Life.
Yeah.
So it was very cool for me to play this. But I think that this festival specifically, it's just such a right fit for us as a band that it feels more special than other festivals that we've played. I feel like the audience was like super easy to connect with here. Like they kind of knew what they were wanting, and it was just super cool to see the songs connect with like so many new fans that may have never heard of us,
right?
Or people who have been following us to like 30 shows, you know. But no, this fest for me specifically is super special. So I'm super happy to finally get to play it. So
love that.
Yes,
it's been it's cool because one of the challenges is like when we have our own headlining shows, we've got some pretty diverse material outside of what a lot of people might know. A lot of like stripped down acoustic stuff. I mean, we have a good amount of that material as well as some more extended kind of, leaning towards the prog side of things stuff. And so we've been doing a lot of headlining stuff. So they're kind of used to, being able to take the audience through, a journey of sorts, like through those sets. So the challenge with these is trying to it's a fun challenge trying to show off different sides of the band in a quick, 30-minute set.
It like demands that you put your best foot forward no matter what.
We don't want it to be like, hey, everyone thinks we're just this hard-hitting rock band. Boom, we're in, we're out. It's like, no, okay, let's try to go. It might be a little staggering for some people, one song to the next being like, oh, wait, what? What is this? But for us, it's, it's fun seeing people react when we go into something that's kind of a 180, one song to the next.
Yeah.
But yeah, and like they're all saying, just great crowd, really, really well put together festival. So it's been awesome.
Awesome.
I'll also say it was really cool today too to see like a decent amount of people when we started, and then a whole lot of people when we ended. That was cool to see that, and also to see old shirts like our old logo, and things like that. Some variations in font, because that just means they've been with us for, even if it's just been the past year. A lot of things have changed, so I'm sure they're proud of us too, and it's a cool feeling.
That's super awesome.
And it was a good show. We played a good set. It wasn't like it kind of hit all the spots, some bumps and bruises, but it it was a lot of fun today. Bourbon Beyond's a good vibe.
Dig it.
Yep.
We're going to keep the good vibes going. Appreciate you all very much. Thank you so much for being here with me.
Thank you.
Hope you have a great rest of your fest, too.
You too. Thanks.
Thank you.
Cheers. Very excited to be sitting down now at Bourbon Beyond in person with Neil Giraldo after an interview that we did over Zoom in, I'm pretty sure it was 2020, Neil.
Yeah, it could be. Yeah.
It was a lifetime ago, it feels like, more than anything.
5 years. Time flies. 5 years goes by just like that.
But in that period of time,
Yes.
3 Chord has gone through a rebrand.
Correct.
You have been inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Correct.
You've gone through a lot.
Yes.
Where has the past 5 years ranked amongst some of your achievements for you?
Life has been great. It's been great. Time is very strange. Some things seem like they last a long time. It takes a long time to get there. Sometimes things go by like in a flash, right? And then, when I stop back and I think of, I have, 3 grandbabies and all this stuff. Now, I think back to when I had no babies, and I think back, I had no songs. I think back of, in 1978 when I went and I auditioned for Rick Derringer's band, which I thought I'd never get that gig. Next thing you know, I got that gig. And from that point forward, it seems like it's been like a minute ago. It's just very strange, feels very strange. But I'm very thankful the way my life has been going. And, I'm really thankful. I don't know why it's me. It should be somebody else, but it's good to be lucky, I guess.
You're celebrating a lot at Bourbon and Beyond this year. You're celebrating Rick. You're celebrating 3 Chord. You're celebrating Pat.
Yeah.
Too.
Yeah.
On stage.
Yep.
You're not just doing it in private either, though. You're actually toasting on stage.
I will be. Yes,
well.
I will.
Yeah. Who concocted this idea? I'm curious.
Well, I can't tell you who I will be toasting tonight. Yeah. Nobody knows, actually.
Oh, okay.
Nobody.
I'm sorry.
But no, that's okay. You know one,
Yeah.
Rick. I'll toast Rick. You got to know that one. But there's others.
Yeah.
You won't know the others yet.
Sure.
But it was just an idea that we all talked about doing, and I was trying to think. Unfortunately, it's September 11th.
True.
So you recognize that, and we will say a little bit before for that.
Of course.
And of course, but we're here, Bourbon and Beyond. We're here to celebrate life. We're here to celebrate bourbon and music. So we have to celebrate our pioneers and the ones we lost. And
Absolutely.
that's important. So
Right.
That'll be happening today. Yeah, so that was a collective idea by everybody. We thought, why don't we just toast it? I said, okay, sounds like a great idea. Let's do it. So
With America's native spirit, too.
that's exactly right. Born in America. Here we are.
I have to ask you, because, being the guitar geek that I am,
We're all geeks.
what are you playing on stage tonight? What are you going to be wielding?
Yeah, well, I use Les Pauls now.
Yeah.
I have some BC Rich Eagles in the guitar vault there. I got a couple of GMPs in there too, but it'll be Les Pauls.
Yeah.
Yeah, and just throwing through couple Marshall combos,
Right.
couple pedals to drive the front end, and
I was about to
away
ask
we
you
go.
if you ran many effects these days.
No, I don't run many effects,
Yeah.
but I run multiple preamps in
Yeah.
line.
Right.
So I keep the amp kind of clean, And I drive that, and the way I play, I'm pretty aggressive. So
You do.
I let the front end kind of grab a hold of the notes and drive it into the amplifier. So
I was here early enough to catch some of your all sound check, and one of my favorite things about hearing a sound check is knowing whether or not bands, artists are bringing their all. And sure enough, you all sounded like you were just playing for 100,000 people, and there was just the sound crew there getting everything ready.
It doesn't matter who's in the audience. As soon as they hit the stage, it's Jerry Lee Lewis blood all the way. You'll know we're here.
Absolutely.
You'll know I'm going to be there. I'm telling you, when I step on that stage, it's a different life. When I get up there, I'm there. That's it. Yeah.
Let's talk about bringing 3-chord to the stage too.
Yes.
Because this has been a huge change for the product. This rebrand, it's gone through a lot of changes here.
Yes.
So
yes.
What moved it into this new iteration for you all? Why this shift?
Well, I think whether it's music or whatever you do, you have to evolve, right?
Right.
So the idea of evolving has to do with some personalities and things too. There was a little shift that happened, which is pretty cool. A little shift where, when you get older, there's a thing where if you get a little older, if you get close to 70, I'm going to be 70 this year. You get there, you kind of go, wait a minute, I want to say what the hell I want to say. I'm sick of just be sugarcoating stuff. Just like stage, I'm going to be there. Wait, this within I'm not going to do anything.
Of course.
Anybody.
Sure.
But that follows into the brand. We're not going to sit around and just be quiet. No, if we need to be loud, we're going to be loud.
Of course.
We're going to bring it.
Yeah.
And we're going to. And here's the thing too: our bottles, because we have pioneers on there, people that maybe a lot of people don't know. Do you know Guitar Shorty? Do you know Cordell Jackson? No, probably a lot of people don't. But without those people, none of us would be here making music. And you got to honor the pioneers, and that's it.
Absolutely.
Period. Start honoring people that made a difference in their lives, right?
Absolutely.
So that's what we're about. We're not going to be quiet no more.
I love that.
We're bringing it.
Yeah. I love too that the bottle shape itself is loud.
Mm-hmm.
It's not something that easily fits onto anybody's shelf.
No.
It's got to you have to actively make room for the bottle on your shelf. You got to actively hold it in your hand, pour from it too.
Yes.
It's one of those you got to be mindful about who you're sharing it with, when you're pouring it to.
Exactly. Well, it's got to. You want it to resemble like a vinyl record,
right?
When all there was vinyl. I mean, there was cassettes and tape like that, right? But vinyl, you pick it up, it's a real thing. You look at it, you flip it over, you have liner notes. You can actually see who played on the record. You can actually see who produced the record.
Right.
You can see the lyrics on the record. It's all in real time, right?
Right.
Now it's in digits, and nobody has a clue who does what anymore, right?
Right.
So that's another part. That's part of our loud version here. And I must say always, you must respect the moment. That's part of respecting the pioneers. Respect the moment you're in.
It's beautiful. I absolutely adore that.
Thank you.
It's incredible. Neil, I don't want to take up any more of your time. I know you got a lot more that you got to do, but thank you so much. This has been wonderful.
You're very
Great
welcome.
to actually meet you in person.
Yeah, from the podcast we
Pleasure.
did. What was that, 5 years ago?
Maybe, sure.
Yeah, we're going to make it 5. But yeah, it's my pleasure. Thanks for having me.
Cheers, man. Thank you, too.
Cheers.
Tommy from 1 Million Strong on This Is My Bourbon podcast. Now, Tommy, thank you so much for sitting down with me.
You got it. Happy to be here.
1 Million Strong is so cool, and it is so awesome to have an advocacy group like you all here at a bourbon festival. I would say of all places, but I don't think that is necessarily the right phrase, because what a lot of people don't realize about September is that it is also it's Sobriety Awareness Month. Is that correct? But it's also just a good month, aside from it being, Bourbon Heritage Month, a good time for people to be aware of, the struggle that a lot of people are going through with alcoholism.
Yeah.
So it's cool to have you all here on
That.
site.
It's our 4th year being here at the festival, and every year has seemingly been better than the previous one. In years past, we exclusively focused on substance use. This year, what's a little bit different is we've expanded that to include mental health.
Yeah.
And so it's still a substance-free space. There are still mocktails for purchase. But really, the crux of the conversation is a theme that's been consistent for 4 years. And it's this idea that no matter what you're going through, or even if you're not going through anything, there's nothing better for our mental wellness than human connection.
Absolutely.
And so the space that we're trying to create here at Bourbon and Beyond is to show that, hey, even in a crowded environment like a festival, it can be easy to feel alone. But what's better than creating an intentional space where you can just take a beat to step back and then be able to enjoy the rest of the festival experience? That's really what we hope to be able to offer people here and show them that there really is strength in togetherness.
Something that has been at the forefront of my mind recently, especially as we, touching on the mental health side of things, especially as there is more and more conversation around the male loneliness epidemic too, is the lack of third spaces for people. And for anybody who doesn't understand what that means, it's, there's home, there is work, and then third spaces are where you go to, remove yourself from those comfort places, I guess, right? And it sounds like you all are, even at a third space like Bourbon and Beyond, you're almost trying to create something else too, right?
Yeah.
With 1 million strong.
That's a great way to put it. I mean, I think about home and work as places that are great, right? If you love your work, that's a great place to be. If you love your home, that's a great place to be. But they can also be places where people retreat.
No.
And one of the things that we want to be really intentional about is creating a space, and I think I like how you're calling it a third space, where people can find one another and find that home, that sense of belonging with each other. We probably don't have enough of that in our society. But listen, you're spot on. I think that there is a real disconnect and social isolation that's happening in our communities. And we've seen this. We've heard from, in particular, Gen Z audiences. Right. And the studies show this as well, that they're one of the most, and they self-report this, right?
Yeah.
They're one of the loneliest generations, and yet they crave social connection. And so, really, again, this space is just trying to say, hey, it's not being given to you. I mean, you're creating it if you show up, right? And so, I think a really great takeaway, and I love how you're calling it a third space, but a really great takeaway would be that third space is anywhere where people show up in this kind of community for one another.
So I want to ask you too about, because something that is important is extending that experience past the endpoint of Sunday when the gates close, right? How do you reach out to people and how do you keep them engaged with the mission statement of 1 million strong?
Oh man, I love that question. So, it would be really easy for everyone to go home and say, well, that was a fun experience, and I'm glad I stopped by this thing about mental health, but now back to reality. And I think what we're trying to show here with our space, the 1 million strong tent, the experience, is that this does not have to be such a weighty topic, and it often is, and that's what makes it inaccessible. When we talk about mental wellness, I think people hear that through oh man, that's going to be a hill I'm going to have to climb. And what we want to demonstrate is that mental wellness is something you can build anywhere.
Yeah.
And so it goes back to this point, there's no daunting call to action. It truly is, hey, if you're feeling low, don't isolate. Go out, hang around other people, share what you're going through. There's a real power in destigmatizing the whole conversation when you do that. But more than anything, you'll make yourself feel better. And one of the things that we've seen is when people are of service to one another, when you get out in the world and you just, this is what I think being resilient is all about, by the way, right? It's sort of embracing the ups and downs that come with life. But when you embrace that with other people, you find the inner strength that you've always had. And people are inherently strong, right? And I think we want to just make sure people take that message back home. There's nothing that's broken about you. Right. And no matter what you're going through, or again, even if you're not going through anything, just show up around other people. It's going to do some good things for your mental health.
I've talked about my own mental health struggles on the podcast before. We've raised money for Movember in the past as well. So it's no secret that I'm an advocate for encouraging people to take care of their mental well-being, because it goes an incredible distance to show up not just for others, but also for yourself too.
Yeah.
Because if you're not showing up for yourself, how can you possibly show up for others? You know, I'm a dad, I'm a husband, you know, and it's something that I've been trying to work on recently is making sure that, you know, not only my mental health, my physical health too, you know, is well taken care of, because I have to be there for my family moving forward. And so it's encouraging to hear, you know, that there are more advocacy groups continuing to encourage people to take care of their minds, their health, their mental well-being overall. And I really applaud you all for what you're doing. So
You're here.
thank you. Thank you so much for coming on and chatting with me for a little bit, Tommy. I really appreciate
it.
it.
Yeah. Thank you.
Cheers. Sitting down with the heavy now. I am really, really excited to be sitting down with you guys. First of all, it's Will and Georgie.
Yeah.
Sorry, I caught you mid-drink, Georgie. First of all, I want to ask you guys, because I missed it, and I apologize. How was your all set today?
It was great.
It was cool. Yeah, it was great.
Good. Okay.
Short and sweet, 30 minutes, amazing crowd. Couldn't have gone better in my eyes.
Yep.
Loved it.
There's something about festival sets,
Oh, yeah.
right? I was talking about this with the band Feel earlier, where festival sets are like the best way to just showcase the best of what you can do,
Yeah.
right?
Absolutely.
And you all have like refined every piece of music that you've put out, right? It took you a little bit to get to your singles, took a while to get to your EP, and then finally you put out an LP. So when you're putting together this kind of set list, is it more difficult for you all? Do you feel like you just kind of have that snapped in, ready to go? Or what's that process look like for you all?
It's funny because we don't often have to pick, really loose songs that we're very used to playing. So it's kind of strange. Like we've got to, not play these ones that we're very used to playing. So it was kind of hard actually to cut it down.
Sure.
It was really hard. Like the first shows that we did in the summer of 2022, we were opening for the Black Pumas in Europe, and we'd only done 6 shows together as a band before we got signed.
Right.
So we did not have a set list.
6 shows?
Yes, we did not have a set list.
it was a good
We
start.
didn't even
That's
really know how
crazy.
to play our songs. We hadn't really put them on their feet. We'd been playing them in pubs around South England.
Yeah.
And suddenly we're in 6,000 cap venues around Europe with the Black Pumas. So we were reminiscing on this in the green room before the show, how like it's hilarious because 2.5 coming up to 3 years ago. Oh my God, 3 years ago. Jesus, 3 years ago.
Time really does fly.
Scarily so. We were like freaking out about how we were going to fill a half-hour
Right.
set.
Yeah.
And now we're freaking out about how we're going to cut for
Right.
a half-hour set. It's mad.
I've gone through that process myself too, of like writing music for an album and trying to decide what's going to fit into that, 30 to 45 to an hour long, condensed version of what is going to best represent you as well. But like,
Yes.
again, you all are like, still relatively new, but your sound is so well refined also. Like it's
That's good.
English gentleman over here. Thank you.
Sure, whatever. I drink black coffee and neat whiskey, but it's been a long day and it's really hot out
really
here.
hot.
But and it's this very unique, like retro rock, but still like, not to harp too much on the name of the band, but you also get somewhat influenced by like heavy rock.
Yeah.
too.
Led Zeppelin and Black Sabbath
Right.
are like a massive,
Yeah.
massive part of our world for sure.
Where's that balance for you all too? Like in your songwriting?
I think that the heaviness is something that we reserve for the live show because we want people to come and see the live show and really step into a world where it goes another gear. Like for instance, the Who live is like another gear to their records. Yeah. They're both great, but slightly different. It's a different experience. So we keep the heavier stuff sort of out of the recordings, but I think it is in there as well. It's I don't know. We're just trying to find worlds which are cohesive, and we like making songs that are totally different to every other song as well.
Yeah.
So I don't know. We don't put that much thought into how heavy it is. Really, I think.
It might get heavier. Who knows?
Yeah.
Sure.
I listened to two Black Sabbath albums on the way here, and I absolutely love it. So who knows?
Yeah.
When you get in that headspace, though, like right before a show, are you thinking about that when you hit the stage?
About making it heavier?
No, that's not necessarily, but like when you're listening to Black Sabbath right before you're on stage, are you like, maybe the guitar's going to get a little bit more distorted, or maybe it'll get a little bit louder than normal?
It certainly gets me pumped.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think, my amp, we can't actually make anything too heavy sounding. There's a limit for what the tech will do on stage. But it just gets me pumped, gets the blood going. I listen to a lot of EDM as well, so that gets me going. I love drum and bass. So.
Yeah.
I want to point to one particular cover that you all did that is pretty easy to find for people too if they just go on YouTube. And it's your all's cover of Khruangbin and Leon Bridges. Leon Bridges?
Yeah.
But sorry.
Texas Sun.
Again, Texas Sun. Which you hear covers and you're like, oh, it's, my wife has a way of saying, like, if you don't have anything new to add, don't cover it.
Yeah.
By God, y'all had something.
Thank you. I completely agree with your wife. Yeah. And that's something, it took us a very long time because Real Love Baby kind of fell out. It was like, it's such a perfect, we were saying this earlier to someone, Real Love Baby is such a perfect 60s love song, pop song. It's got the same kind of setup as California Dreaming, Mamas and Papas. It's the same verse.
Right.
Twice.
Yeah.
So that in its simplicity meant that we could add these harmonies on and we'll swap some chords around and it gave it a different flavor. And it is that thing of like, if you have nothing new to add, don't add. And Texas Sun, it took us a long time to find the next cover because we couldn't add anything new to anything. We kept coming back to Texas Sun, kept coming back to it for the last year and a half. And then you were in the studio.
Yeah, it went minor, all of it. It went to the minor key, and I was like, oh, this is fun.
Love that.
Different world. I went into it thinking this could be a summery kind of thing, like laid back like the original. But then minor key with the vocals over it, it was like became this kind of beast. Psychedelic
and putting a female vocal on instead meant that we had to change the melody somewhat as well. Yeah. Well, we got stuck at that psychedelic sort of breakdown, and we didn't do anything with it again. And then the day before we were going in to record the studio stuff, the Real Love Baby on the live album, and we have we had a gospel choir and stuff. We weren't going to do anything other than Real Love Baby and Wild Emotion, but we were in the rehearsal space the day before, and we were like, guys, let's just try Texas Sun. Let's see. And it wasn't until everyone was in the room and the psyche stuff started getting there, and then we added "Take a Ride with Me, Babe" at the end, and just building and building and building those harmonies, and we were like, oh shit. Okay.
There it is.
Yeah. And so we went into the studio the next day, and with the gospel singers, I was like, hi, you don't know you're going to do this, but please can you do this? And we rehearsed for like 15 minutes with them, built those harmonies up, and then we did 2 takes right, and we took the first one.
Yeah, it's first take. Yeah.
And that's it.
I love those just studio magic stories too of, you don't know what's going to happen until
it comes.
It just happens.
Yeah.
But, and then trying to translate that to a live performance as well, it's daunting.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very much so. Especially we don't play it very often, do we? I think we've done it maybe 3 or 4 times since it's come out.
Yeah.
It's a lot of singing. We don't have 3 female gospel singers with us either. So it's, it's a big feat.
Right.
With 1 female vocal and 3/4 male vocals.
Right.
So that one at this point, it's cool. It's really powerful, but it's not how we would intend to do it. Like in the future, if we built the band out live, then we'd start doing it live.
And you're not a particularly large band
No, it's
either.
just the 5 of us.
5-piece band. Yeah, so it's...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Got to fill a lot of space with...
There's a lot of harmonies going on there, you know?
So I kind of touched, too, on your all's discography, what you've had happen already. You just put out a live album, too, correct? So how quick is the turnaround for you all when it comes to writing music and what might be on the horizon for you all?
Oh, it takes ages.
I know I answered my own question already, but
some of them come out, quickly, and then some of them take a while. Like we're working on stuff now, and maybe it might not see the live day till for another year.
Yeah.
So it takes a while. Some songs take a long time to do, like "Go Down River," our sort of most popular song online. That takes sort of years to make. In a way, it didn't have a chorus for years, and then it just arrived one day, thankfully. And it worked out. Yeah.
Well, heavy, very excited, very much enjoyed getting to chat with you guys for a little bit. I appreciate you all.
Great to see you, man. Great to talk to you, man.
You all
get out
too.
of the sun, man. You're going to burn.
I know. It's literally been because I was not ready for the fact that I was going to be sitting facing the sun most of this day. But here we are. Cheers, guys. Thank you all.
Thank you.
Appreciate you. Day 2 of Bourbon and Beyond, kicking it off with Sailor Hawkins and Tommy Bowie from Yachtly Crew.
What's up?
They sat down with me and immediately said that they're already stressed out, not about doing this interview, but about the day that they have ahead.
It's festivals.
Yeah, festivals in general.
It's always a
this
festival.
is the least
life,
stressful part of it. This and breakfast were the least stressful.
Which is so funny because I've talked to so many artists already this weekend who have said that they enjoy festivals so much because they just get to come and show off what they do best in 30 minutes.
That's true.
Right?
That part is true. It's like a new audience. A lot of people that maybe they're here to see other bands that will they just walk by and they're like, oh, who's that playing?
Right.
You know?
So what makes what you all do different in this more stressful environment?
Well, we're doing like a high energy, big show production. We always try to say like we want to be like the Kiss of soft rock. So, but with that comes with like a lot of production stuff and a lot of stage stuff to set up.
Right.
Frankly,
it's a show. We're a show. We're a bit of a show band.
Right.
Yeah. You've got risers. You've got outfits.
We're playing like songs like "Ride Like the Wind" with like lights and smoke and
right. We don't just go on stage and plug our guitars in.
We don't stare at our shoelaces. We definitely there's movement, there's crowd participation. It's a big fun time.
So Yacht Rock has had this revival over the past decade or so, and I mean, admittedly, I have a lot of fun with Yacht Rock shows. Big fan. Really enjoy Yacht Rock cover bands. You guys have taken it a little bit further too, right? Y'all are putting out your own music.
We have original music.
Yeah.
Right. We actually have a song right now that's like number 20 on the Billboard AC charts.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I know it is crazy.
I mean that in a good way. Sorry.
No, it is. Believe us.
Crazy to us too. Yeah.
We were just like blown away from that, and even more so, that song was written for us by Diane Warren. Who I know, right? And
for
it's
those
just
that don't
coming, dude. It's everything is, and it's all. I mean, everything that we've done is organic and earned, but we work really hard, all of us collectively, to do what we do. But to answer your question about doing original music, we do covers. We're not a tribute band,
Yeah, of course.
Sometimes people think, oh, there's a Yacht Rock tribute or something. There's no tribute to anything. It's almost like Michael Bublé is not a tribute to Sinatra, but he also, in a way, transcended what he was doing as far as those standards and doing his own stuff. And we're kind of like doing that, I guess, sort of that formula, but we're not leaving behind what we've done. You still go to like a Bublé show and you'll still hear some standards.
Right.
But he's also be able to do his other stuff and I think that, it speaks for itself. I mean, the song's doing well, right? So.
Oh yeah, of course, yeah.
I
mean, people are going to respond to it
too,
if you get up on stage and you are yourself. Too.
Yeah.
I mean, you want to present the best version of who you are and not,
absolutely
muddle your way through, sailing for the 100th time.
Right.
Right, exactly.
I think we've actually probably played the Pina Colada song more than the original artist at this point. But I mean, we have fun with it. The crowd does too. Yeah. That's what's really important.
And you guys you played 3 shows this festival.
Correct. Yeah, we played yesterday, and it was great. It was really
there
fun.
was so many people at the stage where we played yesterday. Like, I couldn't even see the edge of where the people stopped.
That's awesome.
I mean, honestly, it started out. There was a few thousand people when it started, and then we couldn't even see. I can't even guess how many people were out there watching. Like,
that's so nice.
And everybody had such a good time. And our set was just like a blistering 30 minutes exactly.
Yeah.
But I mean,
we're used to playing like 2 hours.
Yeah, we do like
hour
45 and an encore, but
I was like just getting warmed up, and I was like, "Oh, show's over."
Show's over. Yeah. I mean, our goal in our show and with our band is, I mean, we want to come out big and strong, and we want to leave people like deaf, blind, and wanting more.
Oh, absolutely.
After seeing what we can do with the songs, and we keep them really true to their original.
Yeah, we like really are always like want to really be faithful to what the original geniuses of this music did, but also try to put our own little flair on it and make it a little more modern. He's hitting the drums a little
bit harder,
and I'm playing a little more rocking on the guitar.
For sure.
That's just the technology has evolved that way.
Oh, absolutely.
That we can do that,
It's a big rock show. Like our agent told us, the difference between what you're doing with the songs and what the original artists do. Like, original artists, they were great musicianship and great songs, but they were just soft rock was kind of more, they were playing like theaters.
It's a mellow.
Like
a lot of the artists are like mellow, and we are like, we're trying to take it to like arena stadium level, where it's like
bring a big concert to the whole to the music,
And I think that on the flip side of that, there are a lot of yacht rock cover bands that are just standard cover bands. They're getting up and they're trying to deliver pure like nostalgia bait. Like they just want people to go, oh yeah, I was there in the 70s and the 80s when these songs were really hitting, and I'm trying to go back to that feeling. But it is kind of nice to hear that you guys are expanding on that.
There's a lot of great musicians in the world, and a lot of them can go up and play the songs. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, for sure.
So what sets us apart is what we were saying earlier, that like we're putting on a show, we're bringing things to the next level. Yeah, where you're gonna walk away from our show going like, wow, like I didn't know where to look on stage because everybody was doing something.
Yeah, collectively, everybody's But also, like right out of the gate, we said we weren't going to be a bar band or a wedding band. We wanted to like.
Go big or go home.
Big. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. It's exactly what it was. Like we'll bring it. And whether there's, when we first started, we had a couple of hundred people at our shows, and we were fortunate. Now we have a few thousand, sometimes a lot more. And,
absolutely.
But we still deliver the same thing if there's 200 people in a room or there's 20,000 people in a room. We're still going to give it 110%.
Have you all played in Kentucky before?
No, actually.
No.
I think
this is your first time in Kentucky. That's crazy.
Yeah. We played in Cincinnati, which is, I understand, is right over the border of Kentucky.
Yeah. Oh, yeah,
right?
it is. Yeah. Just
everything's like. Yeah, I think we're on the edge of like Indiana and.
We are. Yeah. In Louisville, it's like right across the river from Indiana. Yeah. But
it's beautiful here.
Well, welcome to Kentucky.
We went from the airport to the festival, which is 3 miles away. So what I've seen, it's been beautiful.
It's awesome. People are asking me, "Are you going to do some sightseeing?" I'm like, "I'm in this festival for like 4 days." I'm like, and by the way,
this is your sightseeing.
As big as this festival is, I feel like I've visited all of Kentucky because, like, you want to go from one stage to the next.
Oh
like,
my God, yeah.
Prepare.
We could just go to the top of the Ferris wheel and then just look out.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
And so, you know what? As an artist, and we're only playing one show a day, but we kind of cool for us. We play in the afternoon, about 3-ish each day. So it is kind of nice that we kind of get to wrap up our work, and then we get to go see all the bands that we do want to see.
I saw Lumineers last night, and I saw Alabama Shakes.
Yeah.
Benson Boone I heard was good. I missed it.
Yeah, Benson. I saw Collective Soul. Pat Benatar killed it.
Yeah. I caught some of Alabama Shakes. I was doing media stuff.
I didn't get to see that
all
unfortunately.
yesterday.
But I mean, that's the thing. It's so overwhelming though, because you want to see this band because it's like you've been waiting to see this band for like 10 years. You never have, but you're like, oh shit, this band. Oh man, now you got to choose. It's like, so you go see half of one and then the other half of the other. It's like
they've done a really good job. This is so off topic, but they've done a really good job of segmenting the sound production.
Right.
Like nothing really bleeds over too much unless you're right in the crosshairs between the stages. Being a audio nerd, I just like really appreciated it as I was like getting
that too. Even like the Bluegrass Situation stage is like kind of like right in line with the revival
it almost
stage.
seems like
as soon as you go over there, you don't hear the revival stage at all.
Exactly.
Crazy.
Exactly.
And their scheduling, I got to say too. I mean, there are so many nuts and bolts to this whole festival. I mean, everything from when you arrive at the artist gate to your stage and everybody in between, the catering, there's so I can't even imagine like what it's like inside the Play-Doh Fun Factory of this thing because there's so many moving parts that and how they keep it. Everything has been on schedule. I mean, they told us yesterday, you're on at this time, you're off at this time. And we did it. We did our exact set.
They're like, if you go over, we are cutting you off. That's just how it goes.
He's like, go over 1 minute, it's fine. 2 minutes, you're pushing it. 3 minutes, I'm mad. 4 minutes, I'm turning off the PA.
That's awesome.
So, and we did our set. It was exactly 30 minutes, And, but when we were done, like the whole production crew was like, wow, thank you, wow.
That's
really. I mean,
nice.
it was really timed to a T. But, and we were able to do everything that we planned on doing for the show yesterday. But the fact that they could still get all these bands on time and get them off on time and get them set and just like that's the stressful part on our end as the artists, And our crew is working, I mean, tirelessly since the time the plane landed, on Thursday.
We're like asking an impossible job
Wednesday,
of them, basically. Like all of this huge production stuff, we need it on stage in 30 minutes.
Yeah.
So, so we're trying to help out when we can.
Yeah,
But
it's like it's like all hands on deck. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's
for sure.
We don't. We're still a small band. We don't have
the majority of America doesn't know about us yet.
We're not Metallica. We don't have 14 backline techs.
Right. 100 people setting up.
Yeah.
Just the guitar
for
James
the crew
Hetfield.
that they have here, man, on and off stage, those guys are. And everybody just knows their role here, and everybody does a great job.
Yeah,
it's really cool. It's really cool, this experience.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, I hope you guys have been stress free enough for the past 15 minutes, and
this has been nice.
Carry that energy on the stage.
Can we keep it going?
I mean, we can go as long. You guys want to talk about bourbon too? Because
yeah, I love that.
We should get our keyboard. Our keyboard player is a big bourbon.
Oh, is he?
Aficionado.
Oh, yeah.
Bring him over later. We'll talk bourbon, drink some bourbon too. But guys, I appreciate it. Hope you have a great set today. Cheers.
Awesome.
Cheers.
Very excited to have the 502s on the show today. Guys, welcome.
Thank you. Thanks for having us. We're happy to be here.
Of course, you all are going to be playing later on today, right?
Yes.
Yes. Okay, just wanted to make sure.
4:55 this afternoon. Yep.
How y'all feeling so far?
Good. It's a little hot out, but it kind of feels like Orlando, so that's our hometown, and we feel right at home here.
Okay, so the 502s. 502 is an area code in Louisville.
We've slowly found that out. We were unaware of it when we named the band. It stemmed from my address as a kid. But we then found out it was Louisville, and we also found out that it's drunken disorderly conduct in California police code. So we always joke that
we got a 502.
Yeah, we got a 502 right now. We always say, depending on how edgy we want to be for the day, we pick one of those three as our.
Well, it is Bourbon and Beyond.
Yeah, so we got a lot of 502s out here.
You could be in a little bit of trouble, but so one of the themes of my interviews so far has been condensing your catalog for a festival set. What have you guys been doing in preparation for your show here today?
Yeah, we just started a whole tour. It's like 38 shows. This is show number 3.
Dang.
And so we're working. And we just put an album out last week, so it's like on top of the catalog.
Congratulations.
Thank you, yeah. There's also 13 more songs to work into it. So I feel like we've got the handful of songs that people probably expect to hear, so those make it in, and then I think we also just put some of our personal favorites from the new album in. I mean, that feels like as easy as the process could possibly be. Yeah.
Even this morning we were looking at the set list, and it's kind of a mix of what we were playing the last 2 nights, but taking out obviously a lot of the songs that we'd love to play but can't in 30 minutes.
Right.
But these are always fun because it's just hit them with all the best and then enjoy the festival for the rest of the day. So.
Sure, man. Yeah. That's awesome. Yeah, it's such a cool vibe here at Bourbon and Beyond, too. Yeah. Just a good mix of, like, you want to try to see and do everything you can, but also, you know, relax a little bit and see these bands. I mean, the fact that we've got the legend Robert Cray, who started at 12:50 in the afternoon, is wild to me. Yeah. But, you know, who all are you all looking forward to seeing today?
Well, we saw Darren Kiley earlier. He started, I think, 11:40.
The whole day. All of day 2.
Yeah.
My fiance is looking forward to the Teskey brothers.
Yeah.
They're from Australia, so here in the States is a cool thing. They play a little bit after us.
Nice.
Yeah. Trombone Shorty plays after us as well. I'm excited to see that. So I feel like that's our piano player wants to see Switchfoot. So that's it's kind of on the list. I wish we were here for the whole festival because there's so many great bands playing.
Yeah.
But yeah, it should be good.
Looking forward to it too, guys. Let's talk too about your cohesiveness as a band and like trying to make this jump between like your regular live shows and playing this festival. Like, is there anything that you all do ritual-wise differently between, you know, going on stage for like hour and a half, 2 hours to these 30-minute sets?
I think maybe like the full hour and a half plus set requires a little more patience. And a 30-minute festival set is literally like you can just go out there and we squeeze as many songs in as we can. That's something we like to try to do. So we'll probably do 9 to 10 songs in 30 minutes. And I don't know. I think we just get so excited because it's like you can just come out like a cannon and just like you do it, and the next thing you know, it's done. But preparation-wise, I don't know if there's anything different. We warm up, we do a little band meeting, and then we go out there and rip it.
Yep, no, I'd agree with that. It's nice, too, our live show, 30 minutes or 90 minutes, the energy's there, inside or outside. So festival is just nicer because it feels like you can fit a lot more people in one space, and that always lends itself to a really fun show.
Right.
Yeah. I guess late summer day, which we always joke, the sweatier the show, the better the show for us. So this will be the best show of the year, probably.
It is very conducive right now to a sweaty show out here. At, I mean, what is it, like 85 degrees?
Let's not talk about that. Probably. It's not 4:45 yet, or 4:55.
Yeah, Joe's sitting in the direct sunlight, so he feels it more than us.
I'm very sorry, Joe.
That's great, man. I'm growing like a plant.
Good preparation. Drink a lot of water, maybe a little bit of beer. Too.
Yeah.
Guys, I appreciate it. Thanks so much for sitting down with me for a few minutes.
Yeah, of
absolutely.
Hope you have a great set today. Enjoy the rest of the fest.
Thank you. Yeah, thanks for having us.
Yeah. Cheers. This is my Bourbon Podcast, Bourbon and Beyond, Day 2. Sully.
Hey, man.
From Sullivan.
You got it.
How was your set, man?
So good. It was so good. It went so fast. It's really surreal. Even I've been doing this a long time, but to see people we're from San Diego.
Right.
And you see people in LA sing your songs back, that's one thing. You see people in Arizona sing your songs back. But if you see people in freaking Louisville singing your songs back to you,
right.
It was pretty insane. They were into it. It was like a home audience. It was so good. It was so welcoming. It's such a great show.
What I love about your tunes in particular is honestly how catchy they are.
Nice.
It's such an easily, it's just an earworm.
Well, I
really.
It. Well, I got to give a lot of that credit to my writing partners. You know,
sure.
The stuff we released last year, starting with Liars, Oh California, Namaste, the song Seasons, which will appear in Tyler Perry's Christmas movie next month. That was all me and Rome from
That's
Sublime.
Crazy.
And then the stuff you're hearing, Impression, that dropped today, the cover song for Mighty Mighty Boss Tones is produced by John Feldman of Goldfinger and Avril Lavigne fame. You probably heard Drinking Again.
Yeah.
Probably heard The Mess.
Yeah.
That was me and Feldy. But yeah, I mean, I got to hand over, and I'm not just doing it as a cliche. I got to hand over a lot of the credit to, I come up with an earworm, and it's interesting to see how we all work differently. When I write with somebody, sometimes somebody comes up with a and the next thing it comes out with a horn line or something.
Right.
Or we got a bass line, and next thing you know, we got something. So
right.
I got to hand a lot of weight, but I appreciate it. Yeah, I try not to be too poppy about it, but I like to. I want people jonesing on it though, for sure.
But you say that, and it doesn't feel poppy as a musical style really at all. I mean, it's very soulful, you know.
Well, I think we called it retro soul last year.
Yeah.
I think that when the label did.
That's what the website says at least.
Yeah, and I think I remember when me and Feldy were in the studio and I started singing. He says, "I don't think we've had alternative and ska and soul since Dave Wakeling,
right?
And English Beat."
Yeah.
So I think that because of the way I sound. They like to get me scratchy. They like to put me out of my range a little bit. I think that's probably what happens.
How much of that was intentional, or did that just kind of happen as you were writing?
It just happens we were writing, And when you write with John Feldman, like when you write with Rome from Sublime, it's he and I sound alike when we sing. We send demos back and forth. You can't tell who's singing.
Definitely.
And it's a process of writing, talking about it, and going. With Feldy, it's like taking an SAT course and an F-45 class at the same time. You're gasping for air, and your brain's going 100 miles an hour. And then he'll say, "More growl. I want more growl or less growl." And, it's so good thing I can turn it on and off.
What about coming to Kentucky?
Yeah.
Elevates or changes the way that you perform some of these songs?
Well, I think it's interesting is it's validation because you never know. Like we're a Southern California band. I mean, we surfed yesterday, literally. I mean, before we got on the plane, and that doesn't happen very often.
Right.
And the cultures are different, but the people deep down inside that are in the music are the same. And it was really validating today to see. It was so good because the city is so gorgeous. I've got one of my daughters lives in Minneapolis, which looks a lot like this place.
Yeah.
Another daughter lives in Portland, which looks a lot like this place.
Yeah.
And every time I come to a place that reminds me of something else, I could live here. Well, then after the audience today, it was so good. But for me, it was validating, and you never know when you go out there if you could be eaten alive.
Right.
Sometimes, but yeah, this crowd was fantastic.
Come to Kentucky all you want, man. I mean, I was born and raised in Lexington, about an hour away, and this is my favorite place in the world.
You guys are fantastic, and you guys go about 50% speed of what we go. I mean, even in the golf cart coming over here, we left last Tuesday, and we just got here. That's how slow you guys go. But it's a better way of life, I think. I think I'll live longer.
I've never been to California.
That's
the furthest west I've been is Vegas.
Well, now that
Nevada,
you listen to our song "Oh California," it makes you long to be there.
It makes me want to go so badly. The love letter "Oh California" is just like, I need a piece of that in my life.
It was
now.
a love letter to California. It was a love letter to California. It was a love letter to the firefighters too. Because we wrote it during the time of the Malibu fires.
Right. Yeah.
And the Palos Verdes fires.
Yeah.
And it got picked up. Luckily, by the California State Park System and the Convention Visitors Bureau and the Tourism Authority in California, which made it interesting. But we really did try to make a love letter to California because, and I was up there singing, going, I hope they don't think I want to get out of here. But the song's catchy.
Well, I watch a lot of content creators, and I'm connected to California just kind of parasocially.
Yeah, sure.
And so I was impacted during that time too. Just watching people. Right? Oh yeah, of course. But just I know that people are still hurting from that as well, and through the podcast as well. I wanted to
we wanted to donate that song. We wanted
to
donate that song for whoever needed to use it for whatever purpose.
Of course.
And luckily they did. It got some visibility for us at the same time.
It's good to hear, man. Yeah. Well, it's also awesome that you're getting to spread this through Kentucky as well.
I hope we get to come back next year. It's super fun, and we love the venue, and Danny Wimmer puts on the best that there is.
He really does.
And then, of course, you guys have so many great venues out here.
Yeah.
I mean, I could see us doing 6 weeks out here without even moving.
Oh,
it's so much fun.
You just go all around Kentucky.
Exactly.
For sure. Yeah. Sully, thank you so much, man. It's been great.
My pleasure.
Appreciate you.
Thanks for having me.
Have a great rest of your fest.
All right, pal.
Miles Miller on this My Bourbon podcast. Dude, I got to be honest with you. I'm really excited to have you on the show.
Yeah. Happy to be here, man. Happy to be here.
Not just for the fact that I love your music. Love the fact that you're the drummer for Sturgill Simpson.
Yes, facts.
But we're not going to harp on that too much because this is about you. This is not about Sturgill.
Well, that's fine.
But you're also Kentuckian.
Facts.
Which I don't think I've had anybody from Kentucky here on the show.
Wow.
But I'm from Lexington.
Okay.
So
right down the road.
I'd like to actually come here and represent our home state at Bourbon and Beyond.
Yeah.
Too. So I have to ask the obvious question, and maybe the most I don't know, softball one.
What's your favorite bourbon?
No,
not that one. Oh,
no,
okay,
not
okay.
that one. But we can talk about bourbon for sure.
Yeah.
As a Kentuckian, what's it mean to represent Kentucky at a festival like Bourbon Beyond?
It's everything. I mean, you grow up here, you have such a unique perspective on the world, I think, more so than in kind of any other place. It might be geographical. I don't know. It might just be, I don't know what it is. There's something, it's the limestone in the water, but it's great. I mean, this, you look out, I was telling somebody this is like looking, play a Kentucky crowd. It's like looking in a mirror. You're going to see yourself in a lot of these folks.
Yeah.
And you're going to see a lot of people
Oh, for sure.
Just they show out, It's family. It's just the best. I don't know. It's just the best.
I've been talking a lot about during these interviews, the way that you represent yourself during a festival set, right? You're fairly new on the music scene as a solo artist. You just put out this brand new album today.
Right now.
As of recording.
It's on fire right now.
How do you put your best foot forward at Bourbon and Beyond with a 30-minute set?
That's a great question. I think you try not to overthink it, one, and you go out there and you just, with 30 minutes is you got to be tight, you got to be quick, and you don't really want to do any sleeper songs.
Yeah.
So you just got to make people dance. It should just be a fun little moment for everybody
Right.
for a while, and then it's over. And that's literally it. I try not to have any expectation of what it should be or shouldn't be. Just go out there and play music with your boys,
Well, and you're doing something different from most people. And, you get asked about this in every interview that you do. You talk about this in every interview that you do, but you play the drums and you sing.
Yes, facts. Yeah.
And it brings a different attention, a different focus to your stage presence, because you're not necessarily front and center.
Right.
You're pocketed in a different way with the band. Right. So you've got to really elevate your energy, yourself, towards the crowd, towards the audience. Right?
Yeah, I think so. I actually think it's funny because when you're singing and drumming, there's not a whole lot of looking around that you can do, because it's like if you look around, you're going to... Can I cuss on here?
Go for it.
You can fuck up.
Sure.
So you're going to mess up. So it's like I don't have time to sort of check in too much, because I'm like... And I think that's what makes it, though, is like you make the music, you give your best to the music, and hopefully that will be enough to what's going on out in the audience,
That leads me to think about like rehearsals, right? Like you got to give yourself not much leeway when you're getting ready for shows, right? You got to make sure that everything's pretty tight.
Yeah, well, we didn't even rehearse for this. We had played some shows before, so but like I said, though, I don't know if I said this earlier, but there's I'm repeating myself.
You've done a lot of media hits. It's okay. Don't worry about it.
There's we've played these shows together already, so that those first date sort of things with new band members or whatever were gone. We're just getting down to it. And Lauer sat in with me from Sturgill's band, and we're brothers. We don't even have to look at each other or speak about what we're gonna do. Like we're gonna do something cool together. So I don't even know what your question was anymore.
No, it's okay. I mean, I'm
rambling now.
I've been in those situations too musically. Like you just have people that know you so well back to front, and you can just get on the guitar, get on the drums, and you don't have to worry about
something cool is going to happen.
Yeah.
Just trust in that something cool is going to happen. So.
Yeah, I don't know what you're kicking around.
I'm just trying to rest my weary feet on something. My tired bones.
Well, you do have a busy weekend too, because you've got the Sturgill show.
I got to go to work tomorrow.
As well. I mean,
going to the office.
That's got to be an interesting mental shift as well.
Kind of, yeah.
Yeah.
Yes and no. I mean, at this point, I can be whoever I am in any room, alone or around 100 people, and I think that's a really cool place to be. So, I know what needs to happen with those shows, and then I'm learning what has to happen with my shows. So at this point, I show up and I be myself, and that's a pretty good. That's a cool job.
Yeah,
that's a cool job.
We're gonna talk bourbon now.
Let's talk. Well, I'll try. I'm lame, but I like bourbon.
You like bourbon? That's okay.
I like bourbon.
Obviously, you're not slamming shots before shows.
No,
right?
No.
Or else you would play the slop out of drums.
No, or I wouldn't have even showed up. Yeah. I wouldn't have made it to the stage. George Jones myself.
What's waiting for you, bourbon-wise, after you get off stage?
It whatever is great as well, but like I like Weller a whole lot.
There
Weller is all the green labels, black labels, whatever that stuff.
Yeah.
But being a Woodford County guy, I am partial to. I like some Woodford Reserve or some double oak.
Double oak. There you go, man.
Or double oak.
Yeah.
But I'm not picky. I don't.
There's nothing wrong with that.
I don't drink too much. That much more anyway, just because.
Right.
It's exhausting when you're trying to do what I'm doing. So,
bourbon's exhausting anyway.
Bourbon will wear you out.
Yeah,
it'll wear you
out.
It
will. I mean, especially in the hot sun.
Yeah.
At Bourbon Beyond, when you're trying to, maintain mental fortitude.
I'm trying to stay vertical. Yeah. Vertical. Yeah.
I wanted to let's circle back around for a second to your new album as well, because I listened to it on the way over here. And the first thing that really struck me influence-wise was, I mean, from a technical level.
Taylor Swift.
Yes. God, finally, somebody was,
I'm a Swiftie.
really, I mean, I haven't said this on the podcast yet, but congratulations to her. I know she's going to hear this,
Yeah, she's listening. Hey, Taylor.
Yeah, her and
Happy
Travis
for you
Kelce, they're the
guys.
biggest 10-bit fans in the world. It was the double tracking of your vocals on the first couple of tracks.
Yeah.
And my first thought was J.J. Cale.
Yeah, totally.
And J.J. Cale and 70s Eric Clapton kind of go hand in hand.
Love it.
Right? How much of that was in the back of your mind, or just kind of even at the forefront of your writing or editing when you were in the studio?
Yeah, I don't know so much about the writing, but definitely in the studios, that was the idea. J.J. Cale is, when I think of double vocals, anything, it's J.J. Cale. It's just, that's where my head goes. And obviously the relationship between him and Clapton too, that makes all kinds of sense.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And have loved that music for years. So yeah, that definitely came into it. But I don't know. I think with this writing process, I just holed up in a house and I booked studio time and then wrote. So I was like, there was a deadline.
Right.
So, and then you just start doing the things you just start thinking about your life and all that shit and then start writing. I mean, I'm still learning how to do it. I was telling somebody I'm also the world's laziest songwriter. I'll write a verse and a chorus. And I'm like, all right, that's good for 3 months, 4 months. I might revisit this.
I've been in that boat, man.
We'll see,
Yeah.
So that's kind of what happened. So maybe, I don't know if that's good or bad, if you can hear that on the record, but that's some of the process. But yeah, I don't know, man. I wanted it to be funky. I wanted it to be a little more dancey,
well, and there's definitely and I think a lot of people will hear R&B and they'll think 90s, but I mean more rhythm and blues influence.
Absolutely.
On this record.
Yeah.
Especially in the, the middle portion of it. It felt very rootsy.
Totally.
I guess. And I just quickly felt very at home with this record. And
That's awesome.
I think you had a very earnest production on your hands.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I'm not blowing smoke by any means. This is a very
That's awesome.
Truthful response to the record. I really, really enjoyed it, and I'm excited to go back and revisit it for sure. And I hope more people go out and listen to it as well.
Me too.
Yeah.
Me too.
Miles, thank you, man. I really appreciate you sitting down.
Appreciate
it's been great.
it.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
I've got Maybelline here on This Is My Bourbon podcast now. How are you?
I'm doing great. How are you doing?
I'm doing very well.
Yeah.
How was your set today?
It was really fun.
Good.
It was really fun. It was just like, I'm always so joyful when I get to do this. And
Right.
it just felt like pure sunshine.
Good. And it's a lot of sunshine and
It's
a lot of heat.
sunshine. I was actually grateful to be in a tent today because it was like yesterday when I sang, the sun was beating at my face and I was like, oh, I am melting. But
you have and I'm jumping right into this, by the way.
Go for it.
You have such an interesting vibe to your music. The way that I would describe it is almost ethereal. It's like ethereal country. In a
Okay,
way.
great. I have mystic folk on my thing right now, but I think ethereal country,
So
because it's kind of a little more upbeat than
It's
just
synonyms.
pure folk. So yeah, but you get it.
I do. I
Okay,
totally.
okay.
Yeah, I feel like I do
Cool.
at least.
Yeah.
How does that translate to the energy of a festival like Bourbon and Beyond, where you're coming out and you're trying to just captivate a crowd for 30 minutes?
Yeah, I mean, I guess I'm lucky people listened today, or maybe I did. I mean, I started with a song of mine called Sycamore Tree that I swear I wrote with a ghost. And so one of my bass player was like, you should start with that. And I was like, yes, because it sort of announces like, this is what we're doing, get on board.
Right.
But it's wild because it's like, I think we get this idea in our head that like certain music is festival music and certain music isn't. And like when I was watching Benson Boone last night, I was like, woo!
Yeah.
And like I'm so excited for like Sturgill and stuff. But like I just watched Iron and Wine on the main stage and I'm like, yes.
It's Iron and Wine.
I just watched a poet on the main stage.
Yeah.
It's a festival. He's not hamming anything up. He's doing his magic. And so I think you just bring your magic.
And even the Teskey brothers are not, what is festival music.
Yeah.
They're, this kind of groovy, soulful, there's a different type of energy to them that, doesn't make you feel like you're at a festival, but here we are surrounded by, thousands of people.
I love
And,
it.
it just makes sense. But however it works, I guess.
And how cool that the booking team does it, that they're just like, we're going to have all these flavors.
Right. Yeah. And I hope that, you didn't feel lost, amongst the crowd of everything too, because this festival has gotten so big
Oh yeah,
over the
it's
past
my first
few
year
years.
here, so I have no comparison.
Welcome to Kentucky.
Thank you.
I'm a Kentuckian myself, and it's always great to have folks come here and be celebrated in the crowd too. Let's talk too about the construction of putting a band together and trying to represent your music in the best way possible, because your tunes are very very from the heart. I guess is the best way to put it. When you were working on not just putting people in the studio, but trying to reflect your music in the best way possible on stage.
Yeah.
Where was that balance for you?
I think it's interesting, and I think this leans towards your festival question, because I definitely leaned towards more theatricality than I do a lot of times. Like, I played the Bluebird 2 weeks ago, and it was just me and my producer, Johnny, standing on a stage, 2 acoustic guitars, 2 voices.
Yeah.
Because it's the Bluebird, you know? And like, I've done albums in the past where I hired the best session people I could get and the best string arranger and all of that. And this last album, other than bringing in our friend Drew Taubenfeld and this awesome drummer Kyle, like most of it was just the two of us in the studio, for 2.5 years.
Yeah.
So I had a more soulful, ethereal experience. And because I'm an indie artist and because of the reality of touring, most of the shows I've done to support it have been solo or duo shows.
Right.
Because I haven't had a festival budget to hire a band. You know what I mean? And so when they told me I was going to get, enough money to hire a band, I was just like, okay, well, with this budget, what can I do? And so for theatricality and for fun, because it's Americana Fest in Nashville, like everyone's doing a million things. And I was like, what would be fun for me? And the last time I played a huge festival, I hired a bunch of dudes that I love from LA. And I was like, I want to do something different. I want an all-female band or female adjacent.
Right.
And I want to try that just for a different vibe and energy. And I enjoyed it. Like they were awesome, So
I love that, because it just, A, you're in control. B, you are making sure that the response from the musicians is going to best reflect, that what is the most, soulful, I guess, about what was crafted with those songs.
And I just ran into one of the best guitar players I've ever known, and I was like, oh man, you're here playing with somebody. Like, if I could have had pedal steel on this one song, because did I have every sound I wanted and the tightest thing possible? No. But we had a great time, and we'd made the music we could with 4 people, and I loved it, and maybe next time I'll have the budget to hire that fiddle player or that pedal steel, and you go from there, but
there's something about not having the budget and doing the most that you can with that.
God,
that is my favorite when you just, are scrapping it and doing everything you can to just make it the most eccentric and big and boastful and beautiful project that you can. And I even with, bottomless pockets, I guess, you still want to be as truthful to your original self, I suppose.
Man, the first time I saw Chris Stapleton at Stagecoach, it was 4 of them around a mic staring at each other. Not even looking in the eye.
So
just
good.
Staring at each other, making magic. And the show was the chemistry between them making art. And it was electric, and you couldn't take your eyes off them. The first time I saw Iron and Wine, it was Sam Beam alone on stage at the Hollywood Bowl. By the time he got through Trapeze Swinger, you could not look away. You couldn't do it. You know what I mean? So there is something about the moment and what you got. So I love that you love that too.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Maybelline, thank you so much. This has been a lot of fun chatting with you for a little bit.
Thank you.
Cheers.
Thank you.
Well, folks, that is it for part 1 of our Bourbon and Beyond 2025 coverage. That is day 1 and 2. Days 3 and 4 will be out next week. If you are a member of the Patreon, you already have access to all of the interviews that I did this weekend at patreon.com/mybourbonpodcast from the $5 and up tier. But if you want to wait an extra week, you will get days 3 and 4 with the rest of the interviews. And you can check all that out, of course. But thank you so much for supporting the show. As always, I will see you real soon. Until then, though, I am Perry, and this is My Bourbon Podcast.